people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, and today's video is a biggin. It's a biggin. Today we're reviewing all my foundations. I have them like stuffed in here. I didn't realize how much liquid I had for my face until I feel how heavy this container is. So today I'm going to review all of my foundations and we're going to talk about what I think about each one. Some of them I absolutely adore. A lot of them are like in the middle, and then some I'm like, meh. But I don't hate enough to declutter. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's. Let's jump into the video. Just do it. Alright guys, as always, all makeup on this channel is cruelty free, so all the products I'm mentioning in today's video, and these are my personal opinions. If we disagree on something, firstly, it's foundation. We all have different skin types, different foundation coverage and finish preferences and stuff. It's also not that serious, but I would love to know in the comment section down below, what is your all-time favorite foundation? I think we know mine just because I did that favorites video, like the best products of 2019. My favorite product of 2019 was the foundation. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it with the first one that I don't have a review for you yet. So this came in the Style Vana box that I unboxed on my channel. It's the April Skin Magic Snow Cushion foundation. It's just a cushion foundation. It's actually the only cushion foundation that I own, but I haven't tried it out yet. I like put a little bit on my fingers and a little bit on my face last night just to see how I liked it. It looks like a good finish, but like a little bit goes a long way. So I don't have a full review for you yet on this one, but I want to include it in today's video because a lot of you guys would wonder where it is if I didn't include it. Next up is a foundation that I recently got sent to review, and I don't like that there's not a label on it. Like, it very lightly in the cap you can see the word Undone, which is Undone Beauty. So this is their Unfoundation Glow Tint Foundation. I wore this yesterday, and I must say, it gets kind of messy in here. Like this, I cleaned it off last time I used it because I can't stand it being dirty. But like in the cap, and even when I like use it at all, it's extremely liquidy. So in here in the cap, it gets really like kind of sloppy and messy looking, but the finish of it itself is actually really nice. It does have coverage to it. It's an Unfoundation Glow Tint, so I didn't think it'd be very much coverage, but honestly it's a pretty decent amount of coverage. It is very dewy. It's a beautiful finish. It's not the most long wearing thing in the world. Definitely if you're going for like a long wear, I wouldn't suggest this, but if you're gonna run some errands and you want some nice dewy skin, it's actually a really pretty finish. I just wish I had like a label on it because I feel like it's kind of mysterious without a label. Next up is the Makiage foundation. This is either someone's like you love it or you hate it kind of thing, so I've seen both ends of the spectrum. I personally love it. It's a really beautiful full coverage foundation, and I get a lot of compliments on my skin when I wear this. For some people it looks really cakey. For me it doesn't. Maybe it's because my skin is dry, like the oils aren't like making it look cakey or anything. But I love this foundation. I think it's so beautiful. I don't wear it very often just because I feel like the cap, like sometimes this cap will come apart and then you can't get to the actual foundation. It's kind of like a crappy cap on this, but the foundation itself is really beautiful, and I love it. This is actually my second one. The first one I had, which the cap was always broken, I did give away to someone just to try the formula, but I absolutely love this foundation. I think it's really nice. It is kind of expensive though. Is it worth the expensiveness? I don't know, but it is really pretty. You can get definitely full coverage out of it too. So, I don't know, a little bit lasts a long time, so it could be worth it to you. Next up is the Beauty Blender Foundation, the Bounce Foundation. I know there's a bunch of controversy about this shade range and stuff, but this shade 1.20 is a little bit dark for me. However, the finish of this is so beautiful. The foundation itself is so beautiful. It's really beautiful. The only thing about this is, you could lock it obviously so it doesn't do it. I like that it squirts in here. However, sometimes if you like haven't shaken it up in a while and you like squirt it, it kind of like shoots at you, and I've ruined a dress because I got foundation on it and didn't wash out. So I've ruined a dress with this before, but I'm like, now I'm really careful about how I squeeze it out. I like kind of do it like this instead of like letting it shoot forward. However, the foundation itself is so beautiful, and I love the unique packaging. Like, this doesn't look like any other foundation that I own. You're not going to confuse it with anything. If you stick it in your bag, you know exactly what this is. It's so cute. I love it, but you do have to like wipe this off after every use, which I don't mind because I squeeze my beauty blender with paper towel. I'll just get my paper towel afterwards and just wipe it off, but some people don't like that. But the finish of the foundation itself, so beautiful, very long wearing, doesn't really enhance any lines or texture on your face. It's good. Get a sample from Sephora. It's nice. Wait, can they give samples of this? It's not like they can just squeeze it into a container. I don't know. Hopefully you'll be able to get a sample of it. The next one up here is the Milk Makeup Foundation. I never wear this. The foundation itself looks very pretty on the skin. If you have oily skin, I think it's better for you. It is very matte foundation. It's a matte foundation. So on my skin, you can see a lot of texture. It is very beautifully long wearing and stuff. So if you have oily skin, I definitely prefer this on oily skin, I think. Because on my dry skin, it does not look the best sometimes. But it is a very beautiful foundation either way. I shouldn't have bought it though, because I never wear it. Never wear it. If I have full foundation reviews of these foundations, I will leave them linked in the description box for you. I will also link the foundations themselves, but under, like, let's say it's the Beauty Blender, I'll list the Beauty Blender foundation, then I'll have the link to the review underneath of it. Next up is the Peach Perfect Foundation from Too Faced. This is in the shade Cloud. I'll try to remember the shades I have for you. So it was 1.20 for Beauty Blender, Porcelain for Milk Makeup, 010 for Il Makiage, Porcelain Light for the Undone, and then the April Skin. I don't think it has a shade. I think it's just one shade, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so this is Cloud from Peach Perfect Too Faced. This is a Sephora exclusive. It smells delicious. It smells like sweet fig and peach, sweet fig milk and peach. It is a beautiful coverage. It is a little bit yellow. All of the foundations from this line are a little bit yellow, so if you have a very cool undertone, it might look a little bit weird. I honestly love the foundation because it is very soft and I love the scent. It isn't like the most long wearing thing in the world. It's good for about 6 or 7 hours, but then you're going to start getting some really creasing and it's going to look a little bit oily on your face even if you have dry skin. So like after a couple hours, it does look a little bit oily in my T-zone, but honestly, it's just a really beautiful finish. It's very soft matte. It does kind of give you that little bit of a blurred effect too. It smells fantastic. But it is like a medium coverage foundation, pretty good. I think I've gone through quite a bit just from like how it looks in the tube, but I don't remember using it that much. But still, I like it. Also with the squeezy tube, I feel like you'd be able to get more out of it. You could like really press the product down there other than like a glass jar you gotta like dig in there with a scrapery thing. I think you probably get a lot more out of this one. Next up is the Colourpop No Filter Foundation, the original one. This is the shade Fair 10. It's actually a really good color match for me, especially in the winter. I love this foundation. It is a very like light to medium. You can build it up to medium, but I usually say it's a light foundation. It's really pretty. It wears really well because it is a lighter foundation. It's very liquidy. It's very light on the skin. It's not very heavy at all. It's not going to really seep into your fine lines as much as you think like a lot of other ones would that are more of a thick consistency. It's quite cute. I do find that once in a while the pump kind of like has to work to get the product out, even though I haven't used this to the bone yet. But overall, for affordable foundation, I definitely suggest this. It's a good like work day or like school day foundation because it's not very heavy on the skin and it still wears really well. Okay, while we're on Colourpop, let's do the other Colourpop concealer foundation. Foundation. We should do another video on concealer, but I hate most of my concealers. Anyways, this is the Colourpop No Filter Stick Foundation, and it's really nice. I love this. It's a really good, this is Fair 07N, which is a neutral undertone, which is kind of what I have. I have a cool undertone, but I usually go for a neutral undertone. I don't know, because usually cool tone undertones don't really look the best, or they don't have them usually. But this is how much product I have left of the foundation stick. It's really good. It's a little bit dry. It's like a matte foundation. However, it doesn't come off like, it doesn't like cling onto dry patches. I feel like it's really nice. It's not my favorite foundation stick that I own because it is a little bit more matte. But if you have oily skin, you probably really love this one. I do wear this a lot. I think it's really pretty. It's very long wearing, but because it is a little bit matte and I have a dry skin, I do kind of have to drag it with my beauty blender to blend it out. Let's do the other two foundation sticks I have now. So the Juvia's Place foundation stick, I actually bought a backup of this and the Juvia's Place concealer. I don't know why I bought a backup of the Juvia's Place concealer because I never use my normal one, but it was on sale. So I have a backup of this one as well. This foundation stick I just reviewed and I don't know why it looks nasty. Like this looks nasty. Ew, like ew. But the foundation itself, really pretty. Not the most long wearing in the world, but the finish on it is really beautiful. It's a very satiny finish. It is pretty easy to blend out as well. The coverage is like a good medium to full coverage foundation. I would say it's medium, but you can definitely like put on some extra product to make it full coverage really easily. Very creamy. Pretty good. Like again, if you're out for like 5 or 6 hours just doing some random stuff, perfect foundation for that, and it's very affordable. I don't like the original Juvia's Place foundation. I did return that. I wouldn't recommend that one whatsoever, but the stick one is a lot better in formula in my personal opinion. You know? Anyways, the last foundation stick that I have for you is from Makeup Revolution. I love this. I love this a lot. This is F1, which is their lightest shade, which they should have some lighter shades in this, honestly. Oh. This is all I have left of this one. It is more of an oily consistency, so if you have very oily skin, you might not like this. For me, it just looks, because I have drier skin, it's very satiny. It is not very long wearing. This is kind of a thing I'll put on to go get groceries and come back home and wipe it off, or I'll do it to like film with. Most of the time, I just wear this if I'm just gonna like run to the post office or something. This is such a really good foundation though. It looks so satiny and creamy on my skin, but it isn't very long wearing. I wouldn't wear this to work all day, or I wouldn't wear this to like leave town. But if you're just like doing some everyday stuff, it's really affordable. It goes on sale all the time. So does a Juvia's Place Stick Foundation. And the finish is so satiny and beautiful with a really nice medium to full coverage. So I love this foundation stick. But it's not the most long wearing in the world. Since we did the Makeup Revolution foundation stick, I do have two other Makeup Revolution foundations. So first we have the Conceal and Define, which is the original like foundation that everyone talked about. And this is the shade F1, which matches the other two that I have. So all three foundations for Makeup Revolution are F1. This comes with like a wand. I changed mine out with the other one. I like this foundation. It's not my favorite in the world. It's kind of just okay. You will see enhanced texture or dry patches on your face. If you have oily skin, I don't even know if it'll work for you perfectly. It's kind of, if you have like a normal skin type, it's gonna be perfect for you, but it's not my favorite in the world. But it does come with like a fat wand to apply with. That's why I've used so much of it, because like I love the wand application. And it is pretty thin, so you could like, if you like light coverage, you could really just put on a tiny baby amount. It's very thin on the skin and it looks nice, but it's not like my favorite in the world unless you have like perfectly normal skin. If you have combination skin, it might work well for you too. But if you have like really oily skin or something with dry patches, not the best. However, I love this. I just wish it had the wand. So I did put the wand from the other one in this one, which some people might say is unsanitary, and other people like me probably don't care because it's just going on my face. But this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. So they had the Conceal and Define, then we have the Conceal and Hydrate. This is also in the shade F1. This is so nice. It gives my skin a beautiful dewy finish. It is not very long wearing, because it is a hydration. Like, you're gonna expect it to kind of break up on you throughout the day. After like 6 or 7 hours of this, you can kind of like touch the foundation off your face, if you know what I'm saying. But it has a beautiful finish at first. It's very satiny and dewy. It's really nice. I like it. I actually like the concealer, the matcha too. Okay, so next up is one that I found at TJ Maxx recently. Because I recently discovered, well, I didn't recently discover, I recently just remembered that BareMinerals is cruelty-free. So this is the Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation in the shade Porcelain 05, or 0.5. This is beautifully pink. I don't know what it is. I opened this up, I looked at the bottle in TJ Maxx, and it was used, or it looked like it had been squirted in TJ Maxx, so I just cleaned it off. I was like, you know what, worth the risk. It was 10 bucks. I really like this for 10 bucks. It is a little bit oily for me. I like a dewy finish on my skin nowadays. Like, I've been trying to get dewier, like a nice base finish of skin. You can let me know if I've done a good job of trying to enhance that lately. It's so pink. I love how pink it is. It is not very long wearing because it is such like an oily based foundation, but it leaves a really nice finish. Like, I'm feeling myself for like a good 4 hours before this starts to like get in my little lines and stuff. However, I have worn this for like an entire like 11 hours. And honestly, at the end of the day, I looked kind of like sweaty a little bit, but it didn't look terrible. And it's so pink. If you were looking for something like my complexion that is not yellow or like kind of gray, this is perfect. It's just so pink. I love how pink it is. Because I am such like a cool toned pinky based person. There's nothing yellow or golden in my skin whatsoever. I'm just excited to find a foundation for 10 bucks at TJ Maxx that is actually not yellow. So, I don't know. It's really nice, but it's definitely like a dewy finish. There's nothing matte about this foundation whatsoever. It's also a little bit liquidy too. Like, it'll soak into your sponge pretty good unless you use a brush. Might work better with a brush. I'll try it with a brush next. Next up is the face tape from Tarte. I love this foundation. I've used that much of it, which, I mean, honestly doesn't look like that much. I've been trying not to use it so much. Ew, it's breaking down at the bottom. Okay. Anyways, I love this. A lot of people said it doesn't really wear that long on them, but I guess their skin is more oily with me, because on my skin it wears pretty good. It wears pretty good. It's really beautiful finish. It is a very like soft matte finish on the skin. You can set it with any setting powder and it's really gonna stay put. I love it. It does get into my smile lines a little bit. I'm like, the more I wear it, like the more I do see it kind of gets into my smile lines. But the finish of this is just so beautiful. I really love it. It's good. Like I tried the Found Sealer just after this one and I hated the Found Sealer foundation. There's a lot of Tarte foundations that I don't like the Amazonian Clay is just so dry for me. But I guess I should see that because it is a clay. But this one is like the beautiful like satiny kind of finish. It's very soft. It's a medium coverage. Again, it's a little bit liquidy, so it will soak into your sponge. But I definitely suggest a sponge with this one just to blend it out and get that, like that soft blurred effect. I love you. You're beautiful. I do have a foundation review on this one too. It's just so good. I love that one. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. Next up, something that I like. I always like when I want to start and finish, I go between these two. So this is the YOMA foundation. I hate the YOMA concealer. It's garbage. Honestly, I'm just gonna tell you it's garbage. I've reviewed the concealer. It's terrible, but I love the foundation. The foundation, this is the shade White Pearl T2N. So it is a neutral undertone. Again, this has really good like skincare ingredients in it. It has a beautiful finish. It is a very like satiny finish. I guess a lot of these that I have are kind of a satiny finish. I have a couple that are matte and a couple that are like really dewy. But I love like a good like a medium to full coverage foundation that has like a little bit of a soft matte kind of satiny finish to it. This one has good skincare ingredients. If I feel like my skin has any irritation on it, I'll wear this foundation. This shade is a little bit too dark for me. I did buy it in the summertime, but now it's like, you can see like the difference from my neck. It's a little bit tan, but I still love the finish. The finish is stunning and it wears pretty well. Like it's not a matte foundation, so it's not going to be like amazing at the end of the day, but it still it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I love the skincare ingredients in that too, and the name's pretty cool. Next up, ooh, this one. This is my monthly favorites this month. This is the Laura Mercier 1CO Cameo. I thought this shade would be too dark for me, but honestly, I don't have to worry too much about the shade when it comes to this foundation because this foundation, whereas it's stupid expensive, I think it's $48, like, is beautiful. It's stunning. It makes my actual skin, like it doesn't look like makeup looking like making my skin look even nice. It makes my actual skin look pretty. There's something about this that enhances how my skin looks instead of looking like a good makeup base. I don't know what it is. It's magical. The shade is too dark for me, but somehow because it blends into my actual skin, it like melts into my face, it looks perfect. So I love it very much. It's beautiful. Alright, so next up is the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. This is also my monthly favorite. It's one of my favorite products of 2019, I believe it was. Yeah. This is a beautiful long wearing foundation. It does stay, I'm going to take the cap off because it's so reflective, but it is a Stay Naked foundation. It's so good and long wearing. This is the shade 20 CP. Again, a little bit dark for me because I bought it in the summertime, but it's so pretty. It's a beautiful foundation. Like honestly, it is so long wearing. I don't have to worry about it throughout the day. It does stay like a semi matte, so it is kind of like a velvety finish a little bit. It's not super matte. It's not super like dewy or satiny or anything. It's kind of just right there in the middle. Look how dark that is though. Like this was my shade. I swear, like I tell myself I don't buy different foundations for different seasons and stuff, but when I buy foundations in the summertime, they end up being like not exactly my shade throughout the year. And I think I say like the same shade, but obviously I don't. But this has a beautiful pinky undertone. So the 20 CP is like a cool pink undertone. It is very true. It's not super yellow, but if I wear this now, I have to wear like a really brightening concealer because it is kind of dark. But the finish is so long wearing and beautiful. So if you want a foundation, you don't have to worry about it throughout the day. This, and it's not super matte where it's going to dry your skin if you are worried about that as well. Next up is a Clove Hallow liquid skin tint. This is in the shade 01 because of course it is. I kind of like this. For being a skin, like a skin tint, like a tinted moisturizer kind of deal, the foundation coverage itself looks a little dry. You think with a skin tint it would be like really dewy and luminous, and it's okay. But it's not my favorite thing in the world. Like I never find myself reaching for this. There's nothing wrong with it when I do wear it on very rare occasions. It looks fine on my skin. But for being a skin tint, it doesn't really like make my skin look more even, like, you know, take out the redness or anything. So it doesn't really do anything for me. It is a little bit of like a light coverage foundation kind of deal. Doesn't make my skin look super dewy like you think it would for a skin tint, and it doesn't really even have the redness like a tinted moisturizer would, so I don't know. Like, it looks good when I wear it, but I do have to touch up a lot with concealer to make my skin look even. So take it as you would. It's not a terrible product. If you're into something that just has a little bit of coverage, you just want your face a little bit of a different color, I guess that'll work for you. I need to wear it more. I need like a better opinion on that, because right now I'm just like, it just adds color to your face. Next up is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is in 0.5. This shade used to be, like, I used to not bronze at all, like barely even own a bronzer other than the Reserve Your Cabana, which is like not really a bronzer. And this is always too light for me, but I actually can wear this now because I do bronze my skin. So this is 0.5 in the All Nighter foundation. I have to take the cap off just because it doesn't fit in the drawer slots I have unless I have the cap off, because it is kind of a taller product. This foundation is so good. It is more of a matte foundation. It is an All Nighter foundation. It's so long wearing. The finish also is really beautiful. Like, it's not super matte looking on the skin. If you like set it with like a really good like moisturizer underneath. If you don't use a primer, I don't know if you like this, because you do need something to like add a little bit of moisture to the skin, but this is so good. If I'm going to, like, let's say I was going to like an event. I don't go to events, but if I was going to an event, like when I went to Comic-Con and I like had a guest panel in there like last year, I wore this because I knew it would stay put throughout the day. I don't care how hot it is, this is going to stay in place. It's not going to smudge or move on your face. It might like get into your fine lines a little bit just because it is a little bit of like, I mean, I wear a lot of it because I want full coverage with this. It is very full coverage. It might get into your lines a little bit, but honestly, it's going to stay placed all day. And it's lovely. I love this one a lot. I do wish it wasn't so tall because I want to put the cap on everything. But it's good. It's good. I just opened this one up and I've already used that much. Oh well. Next up is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Cloud. I love this one. I wear this actually quite often. It doesn't look like I've used any because it looks like frosted glass the entire time. But the other day when I was using it, like, I couldn't really get it to pump out. I don't know if I'm almost out or if it's dried up or I need to like shake it up more, but it was like having a hard time using it, so I don't know if I finished this up or not. I'll have to like open it up and see. This is such a beautiful finish. It is very long wearing. It's kind of pale, so I do have to bronze with it. But it's the only one that isn't yellow on me. Like the Swan, Marshmallow, all those shades are kind of yellow on me. Cloud is not. So I don't mind bronzing with it to make it like look like normal skin. It's beautiful. If I need something to stay placed, All Nighter and this one are so good. Getting down to the wire now, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, liquid foundation, luminous foundation. If I want dewy skin, I use this one. It's in the shade 130N. So I've been wearing this one a lot lately because it's like a light coverage. You can get to medium coverage, but it's not like, it's never going to be full coverage no matter how much you use. It can be a little bit cakey if you do try to build it up a lot, but honestly I do like a nice like even little layer of it. It evens out my skin tone and makes my skin like have a little bit of luminous to it, so it is a dewy finish foundation if you have very oily skin. I don't know if it'd be for you, but if you have combination or dry skin, I think this would be really pretty to get like a nice dewy effect. I like it a lot. The foundation I am wearing today is my favorite foundation of all time, and actually like for like go-tos, like I use these a lot, but I can't put this down. I wore it today just because it's been a rough day. Adam got in a wreck with my car yesterday. He's out there trying to repair it right now. Like, he's on his way home, like had to get a new rim and everything, like the front's kind of messed up. But anyways, I wore this today because I was like, I don't want to think about what I'm doing to my face. Like, that's why everything's on neutral. But it is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. Ugh. It's a foundation and concealer. I would never use it as a concealer. But it has a pump option. I don't use the pump option because in here it has a wand. It's beautiful. I love this foundation so much. This is the shade LN2. There are 40 something shades at Ulta, and then there's 100 shades on the Pure website if you need like a very specific shade they don't have in store. This is my perfect foundation match, honestly, to like my face and neck and everything. It is perfect. And the finish is absolutely stunning. Like, look. I've been trying to get dewy skin lately. I've been wearing this for about 2.5 hours, I'd say. Oh, I have a blemish right there. Don't mind that. But my skin looks so good. I love it. If I don't want to think about my foundation, I use this. I am scared of running out of it soon though, because I don't want to buy another one. But I will. Like, if I run out of this, there's no doubt in my mind I'm going to pick up another one, like, immediately. I just don't want to spend the money on it, you know? And lastly, we have one last foundation, and this is the Soap and Glory Kick Earth all day long wear 24-hour foundation or whatever. It's from Target. It was like 13 bucks. It's the same exact formula as the CYO foundation that's being discontinued. They're discontinuing CYO. It's the same exact foundation. If you compare them, they're exactly the same. It's just the same parent company and everything. But this is just from Soap and Glory, who I recently found out was cruelty-free, so good on them. This is really beautiful. It is a little bit, it can be a little bit cakey. So I use a little bit and like kind of build it up if I need to. Honestly, I'm not wearing super like tons amounts of foundation these days. I want it to even out my skin tone. I want like a medium coverage, but I don't need it to be like, don't see my skin through it, you know? If I like see a couple freckles or I see like a blemish coming through, I'm not like dying to cover it up with full coverage foundation. Okay, sorry. Anyways, this foundation can get a little cakey. I use a very minimal amount, but honestly it wears really well. I just do like half a pump and kind of spread through my face. I might use a little bit more than that if I need it, but honestly it wears super well. For being an affordable foundation, it is a little bit dewy. It's not very matte at all. Like, I would never advertise this as a matte foundation. For being a 24-hour foundation though, for being kind of on the dewier side, it does wear really well. So that is all of my foundations. Let's count how many we have. So overall, I gave you 23 foundation reviews today, and I hope that was good. I hope you got like some suggestions on things you might want to try. Honestly, there's so many here that I really love, and it feels like the kind of day I want, you know? Like, if you're going to be out for a long time, I go for more of a matte one. For if I'm like hanging out of the house, filming some videos or doing some errands, I like something more dewy because I want my skin to like look good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your favorite foundation of all time in the comment section down below. Mine is the Pure Love Your Selfie, obviously, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.